AITA for teaching my niece some sex ed? I come a really conservative family. My dad and my sister believe that if a woman is truly RPED she can't get pregnant. My sister expressed not wanting to give her daughters any sex ed. We were all in the car, and my sister, 31F, was telling my niece, 12F, that if she is mature enough to spread her legs and be a slut, she is mature enough to have a baby, and told my niece she would have no other options as no other option exists. The next day, my niece rode with my wife and I in the car to our next family thing. I parked the car and told her that we needed to talk. I told her that she will probably start having feelings, that no one should be forcing her or coercing her to do stuff, that things like blue balls didn't exist, about misinformation out there, about birth control, and condoms. I told her about masturbation. If someone is trying hard to convince her to not use a condom, she should use one. And I told her there is procedure to terminate a pregnancy. I told her body and sexuality wasn't something to be ashamed of and it should be fun, consensual, informed and enthusiastic. She admitted that she has started dating but is not planning on having sex. She told me she thinks she likes girls. I told her that I was always there for her. Months passed and my sister found out what I told my niece. My sister isn't talking to me. She says I overstepped boundaries. My niece and I have a great relationship. I think I did the right thing, but my family isn't talking to me. AITA? NTA. What her mother was telling her is religious abuse, and it leads to even more harm when children who are indoctrinated in that way actually believe it. You did the right thing. NTA. She needed to know all these things and you probably did a great deal to ensure she's safe in the future. She needs to know about her body and her bodily autonomy now. You did cross a boundary as you went against a parent's wishes for their child. However, this boundary was endangering the child's mental and physical health. So you were right to do so. NTA. What your sister said is some purity culture BS, and it does nothing but make women shame other women or otherwise, contributes to RPE culture, and leads to massive amounts of harm. Please be there for your niece if she's discovering she might be queer in what seems like an incredibly judgmental and harmful space. It sounds like you already are there for her, and that's amazing. The fact that your sister would think that if you are truly raped you can't get pregnant means she is not capable of understanding basic biological facts. Maybe that's how she ended up with a kid at 19. Very sad for your niece. She is lucky to have you. Some sanity in what must be a very difficult existence in 2021. NTA. You did the right thing. Your sister is in denial, and it's shameful that she said if you're mature enough to spread your legs and be a slut / you're mature enough to have a baby to a 12-year-old. Seriously. Keep being the great adult in her life that you are. She is probably going to need to come to you later, and it sounds like she knows that you're a safe person to go to for information and support. NTA. Only thing that you did wrong was get caught. I would recommend to your niece to check out a YouTube channel, Mama Dr. Jones. She's an OGYN and gives accurate information that your niece needs. She covers a wide variety of subjects, like birth control, vaginal discharge, what's normal, what isn't normal, and yes, how sex actually happens. Your sister is doing a huge disservice to your niece. So make sure you keep connecting with her. She will need the support. NTA. People have sex whether you educate them on it or not, and this is definitely one of those topics where you should be making educated decisions. But I strongly suggest you have a conversation with your niece about what might be an appropriate age to start thinking about having sex. 12 or even 13 definitely isn't it. NTA. And I feel super sorry for the niece. That's some wild misinformation perpetuating rape culture. Yikes. NTA. Plus, my sister, 31F, was telling my niece, 12F, that if she is mature enough to spread her legs and be a slut, she is mature enough to have a baby. Holy shit. Call CPS on this woman because Christ. You did cross the boundary into parenting your niece, but only because her own parents failed so abjectly. You are Sue NTA. NTA. Kids need real sex education, regardless what their parents say. NTA. What you told her were basically facts, not opinions. The parents have the right to teach their child opinions, but they can't stop them from hearing objective facts. NTA. If you haven't grown up in the environment the op is describing, I don't think you can fully appreciate what it's like. Maybe you did grow up that way and you can relate, but still think he's an asshole. Normally I would agree. But this was akin to throwing the young lady a life preserver that she didn't even know she needed. She will remember this talk and she will appreciate it later in life. Generally speaking, you were taught to question yourself. Trust those within the church, specifically men. And ultimately, you aren't told anything about sex except to abstain unless you're married. God is watching if you masturbate. Sin. If you're a female that was raped, then you shouldn't have been there, or you did something to give off vibes to the other person. I.e., skirt was too short, pants too form-fitting, etc. You should be submissive to the man of the house, etc., etc., etc. The point is, growing up like that and then attending university or just getting out into the real world can be very jarring. It's known that kids are curious and will naturally question things, but they essentially brainwash that out of you in various ways. Lots of fear. And that follows you into adulthood. Many of these young people who grow into adults don't even realize there are other paths in life that are valid, lovely, and fulfilling. You've let her know that things aren't as they seem, and hopefully as she ages she'll come to question a lot of what she was taught. Blue balls didn't exist. That's not actually true. But it's not like them existing should influence you to have sex with a guy. He could just masturbate. A guy saying that he has to have sex because of them is full of shit. NTA. NTA. You did overstep boundaries, but it was for the benefit of your niece. Now she knows she has someone to turn to for support, especially if her mom kicks her out if she finds out she's attracted to girls. Which she sounds like the kind of parent who would. I hope you talked to your niece about sexual assault, since your sister clearly shouldn't be legally allowed to even mention anything close to it. I'm so proud of you for stepping up and talking to your niece, and for promising to be there for her. I wish more adults would do this when they see a child being misled and mistreated. Thank you. NTA. NTA. That child has to be able to make informed decisions and has an absolute right to know the truth about how her body works. She also needs to know that she has a trustworthy adult available to her. You shouldn't have had to be the one to have this conversation with her, but the conversation needed to happen and her mother dropped the ball. NTA. You did the right thing, op. All you did was give her real-world advice and told her the facts. All this religious and conservative views fuck people up, and had you not told her what you did, she may have gotten herself into a situation she couldn't handle.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.